Welcome to the SheSapiens podcast. My name is Elisabete and I will be your host. Our goal at SheSapiens is to empower and inspire women in business by creating a supportive space through events and collaborations. As an international community network and marketplace for female founders, we are committed to providing resources and support to help women succeed in their businesses. We are based in Lisbon, but we started events in Amsterdam and soon other cities. In each episode, we will delve into the journeys of inspiring women and share valuable insights and tips for female entrepreneurs. We invite you to join us as we explore the stories of women who have succeeded in their endeavors and learn from their experiences. If you're interested in sharing your story, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Additionally, SheSapiens offers a co-work space for our members in the center of Lisbon. Check out the description for more information. In this episode, I have the pleasure to introduce you Marianne Lehikoinen. She's 27, originally from Finland with Congolese background. She moved to Lisbon recently with her husband and her 2-year-old daughter. She's the founder of Smart Mentoring, a consulting business that empowers creators and coaches to scale their businesses and generate revenue in the 6 to 7 figures or beyond. Her mission is to enable founders to have control, positively impact the life of thousands or even millions, and live the life they desire. As a self-made Gen Z entrepreneur, she is passionate about building meaningful and massively profitable businesses for herself and her clients. Starting from scratch, with no experience, no network or savings, she built her first 2 companies. She published a book, built a social media audience of tens of thousands of followers, hosted a podcast, sold over thousands of online courses, became a mom by the age of 25, and she leads a team of 15 employees who join her on a mission to coach business owners on how to achieve more than they thought possible. I hope her story and vibe will impact you as much as me. Hello Marianne, thank you for coming.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. I'm very happy because the first time that I met you, I could feel you have this vibe very strong of the bold boss. I go get what I want and nothing can stop me.
Yeah.
So then when I met you, you introduced yourself a little bit to me and you have a very, very impressive background. Do you mind sharing a little bit?
Yeah. So my background is that I'm from Finland and I have been entrepreneur since 20 years old. And I started without not knowing anything about entrepreneurship because I didn't grow up with entrepreneurs in the family or anyone that I knew was from doing business. So then I started as social media manager and continued working as a social media manager and part-time and then studying. And also I had a full-time job at some point. And now since 2020, I've built my current company, which is called Smart Mentoring. And we do online coaching and mentorship for female entrepreneurs, mostly coaches and course creators.
Congrats. So you basically help people get rich and successful.
Yes, well, that's what we do. Actually, my secret mission is that in the future people will remember Marianne who made millionaires or something like that. It would be super cool to be that person. Yeah.
So we're very lucky girls to have her in the community. You also recently got featured on Forbes.
Yes.
Congrats. That's very impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I really wanted to share that how I actually got there for my audience, because it wasn't they called me what do you want to be part of this, or that some people might think it was actually a great strategy that we had tried it already several times before I even got featured there. So I actually shared the whole story, how I ended up there on my Instagram. So you can go, I've pinned the post so anyone can go and see how it was. But it's doable, anyone can have that type of, I wouldn't say that anyone can get there, but if they have the perfect strategy for it, you can get there, and it's not something that it's impossible for you to achieve.
But I would say it also shows a bit of consistency. Can I say that?
Yes.
You're very persistent, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
That's something I can feel very strongly about you. You want something, you do not go until you get it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and also about like because for me it just feels really natural that okay, yeah, I got it. Like it wasn't super like that I really celebrated it even that big, because I had worked so hard to get there. But for me, like I just pursue everything with, like you said, consistency, and also like if the first answer is no, try again, try a different route, or like, so I think it's everything is figure outable, definitely.
So is that a tactic that you've been using in your first business also? Is that how you got here? Because you mentioned you started it when you were 20, but you didn't mention that you're 27. So it's pretty impressive. Congrats. You're very young and very successful.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And like I said, I really rarely think about it. It's like, oh, like I'm so successful or anything like that, because it's been like on like day to day, just working towards these things that I've set myself as goals. And I think that the thing is that you need to have really clear vision and goals for yourself, because then it becomes so much easier to achieve them. Because if you think that, oh, it's not possible, like I'm not going to even try, like of course you're not going to achieve anything with that kind of mindset. So definitely I would say that what I did in the beginning was something that like I just needed to have the courage. Like I think you can't have the confidence before you have done and have the experience. So in the beginning what you need is definitely the courage to actually just keep trying and keep contacting your potential clients. Like that's what I did, and got my first few clients as social media manager, and grew from there. Yeah.
Do you have any tricks when you feel yourself lacking of that courage that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm feeling scared, definitely, doing like new things, reaching new people to like see if I could help and offer my services, for example. But what really made, like I would say that it's scary for me, it's scary for everyone, but like you can choose if you want to do it still, like if you still want to do and want to get whatever you want and desire. Because I think one of our clients, because I like host these weekly live group calls with our coaching clients every week, and this week one of them said really cool thing that like she's super scared about posting her like stuff online and like talking about the things that she wants to impact. Like she's really great, like this empowerment coach for women. And she said that it's like the voice saying in her head, like, I can't do this, but at the same time, she's just doing it. And that's how I also feel, like I'm just doing it. And also, when you do it once again and like over and over again, it's not that scary the next time. So you just also get more courage, because you notice that nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
When you just
the first time it's more scary because the unknown scares us. But once you start doing it, you're in it, and then you quickly realize that you're doing it fine, so you keep on doing it.
Definitely.
Like, oh, I know this.
Yeah, that's true. That is how it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
You coach a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Do you find a pattern that is similar to like most of them? Like, do people have the same fears usually?
Yes, definitely. And I think one of the biggest is like showing up and being visible, and like offering your services, pitching your ideas publicly, and like being shown on social media, for example, as who you are authentically. I think that is one of the main things that at least our clients usually struggle with, and we do a lot of like mindset work with that, because I think for example, who we help, they are already skilled and usually also experienced in what they do. So it's not about like they can't do the thing or the skill that they are doing, but the marketing sales part is what they are really struggling with. So I think yeah, that's the common thing with everyone.
100%. When I started, I had this exact same fear of launching, because I've launched some big projects before, but because I was working for someone, I kind of felt like I was hiding behind the name, like I was certain that the name would succeed, so it was easier. When it was me, I was like, oh, I feel naked.
Yeah,
it was scary.
That is true.
Once you start doing it, the more you do it, the better you feel at it. And also, I think you need to be okay accepting that you can suck a little bit.
Yeah, and that's true. And you can actually fail, and you can do mistakes. Like that is part of it. But the thing is that when you say that, what if I fail? It's actually you thinking that, can I risk my ego? Can I risk my time, my energy on this thing? Or like, because there is a risk that you won't succeed in it. And there is a risk that people will see that, okay, well, she started that and it didn't, you didn't make it the first time. Like, for example, I've launched so many online courses, ebooks and everything before I succeeded, and I failed with most of them. And I've still just continued doing that and just not cared if people thought that, oh, she already failed with something else. And I think that like the thing with risking your ego is like also with social media, when we are doing it publicly, like it's the hardest thing because of that, because we fear that what if people see that I didn't manage to do this and now I'm doing something else, and like people are thinking so much about that when actually others aren't really even probably interested.
Right? Nobody cares at the end.
Yeah, they are not. Like some people are like, oh, what if I can't get these clients that I'm desiring to get until the date that I have decided for myself, and like I can't market this thing after that. But you decided that by yourself. Like nobody else really knows what you've decided. Like just keep going and pushing and like showing up even after you decided that it's the end date for your like offer or whatever. But I think it's just really important to understand that others are not so interested in every single detail you write and post.
So do you have kind of like ceremonies that you do, like, or something to make you feel better when you fail?
Well, I really try to think the same way with failure and succeeding, because if you really start, and that's probably, like I said in the beginning, like I don't really think about the successes or celebrate them so much. Like, of course, like I really try to remember, like be happy and celebrate even the smallest wins, of course. But when I think about succeeding and failure, it really should be something that you look really similarly, because if you start seeing that, okay, you are your successes, then when you fail, you also feel like you are your failures, but it's not the truth. Like it's like you should be seeing them really separately. And I really like the type of attitude towards business that you are like this scientist who is testing different things, and some of these things might fail, some of them might succeed, and then if something succeeds, like do more of that, and then like try other things. So I think that not really thinking about the failures as much, like then you just need to figure out another way. So yeah,
thank you. I think that's really great advice. Don't like put yourself too much. Don't take yourself too seriously. Also when you fail, you learn, right? It doesn't work, okay, I'm not doing that anymore.
That's so true. And also like all the biggest failures, like I always remind myself, like, okay, this is something that I will be writing great posts in the future, and like this is part of my story in the future. Because if you think any success stories, like there's not single one that didn't include the struggling, the failures and the hard times.
I love it. The failures you can use as content.
That's really true. And that's what I try to remind everybody around me as well.
Could you give us some advice on how to become a billionaire, for example?
Well, I don't know about billionaire, but I think that as millionaire, that's closer what I. Let's start with that, because I haven't figured out the other one yet. Let's get back to that later. But I think that as millionaire, like what you need to do. For example, I don't really seem like I am not a millionaire in net worth yet, but I really feel that my mindset is there already, and that's why I really like confident about speaking it, because we talked about this earlier. Like, you have to have the mindset of the person that you want to become in order to actually to do the things that it's necessary to do to become that person. So, for example, my advice, like, that is pretty broad question, but I would say that entrepreneurship is a great way to start. Like, I would go with that. Like, I'm good at making money and helping others to make money, and entrepreneurship is by far the best tool that I've found that works to become millionaire. Of course, there's other ways too, like investing and doing stuff like that, but I'm not really professional on that. But what I would say is that having something as expensive as you can that you could sell to others. So, for example, the whole year in 2021, I was thinking that, okay, how could I have something worth, for example, 5,000 euros to sell to others? And I really struggled to, like, what could it be? Like, what would be so valuable and as a service, because I was in service business, to offer people that would be, because then it was easier to count my way to million if the price of the product was already high. So that's what I was figuring out first. And then I learned the ways to create premium offers. And that was one of the reasons, because I learned that, okay, for me to do €1 million in business, it's easier to do it with premium offers. And then now the most expensive offer that we have sold in my business is 25,000 euros, which is really amazing, because now I've been thinking, okay, well, what would be worth of 50,000 or like something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's really like pushing the boundaries. And I also think that one really great book about like high priced offers is 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you've seen or read it already, but I definitely recommend that, because it's pretty short, really straightforward, and you really understand that, okay, well, there's possibilities for me to make like 50,000 euro offers. Like, it's doable. You can do it. But in order to do that, you need to have the type of value, and also for the customer, that they see that, okay, that's a good deal for them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for example, I just purchased this participation in this mastermind, which is like the biggest in the industry, is going to be teaching me to build my business, and it costed like around 50,000 euros. Mm-hmm. So it was really big investment, but also I think that these type of big investments are going to be the ones that help me to go there faster to become, for example, self-made millionaire, because I learn faster from these people who have already done it. Mm-hmm. So long answer, but yeah.
No, it's very interesting, and to come back to what you said before, it's all about mindset, right? So
yes.
If you put the price, you know you're expecting quality. So, for example, you going to this mastermind is you investing in yourself.
Yes.
A big amount, because you think
yes.
you know you deserve this big amount.
Yes.
To be learned by you, so you can develop even better products.
Yeah, and also I really think that investing that much in yourself, or like this is subjective, like maybe somebody is investing even more, like it's not much. So also like understanding that these are really subjective numbers. Like, for example, for me, at some point, investing 200 euros in an online course was like a lot for me. So it's like growing that for where you're going and where you are at right now. And also, if you don't have the money to invest in your like self with these type of high priced masterminds or whatever, you still can definitely invest your time and your energy and actually go really like hands-on and like all in your business by learning from, like, there's so much stuff online already, like for free. So definitely you can do. And what I did in the beginning when I started at 20 years old and I didn't have savings to invest in anything, I actually spent my money on this editing software because I promised to some client that I can edit the videos for her. Yeah. So I bought this editing software for like a couple of hundreds of euros, and then I learned from YouTube how to use it. So you can do it also for free resources. And then I got money because I could offer the editing services. So that's how you go and grow. Like also like the money that I'm now investing has been some like money that I've got from selling my offers, or like with our company, we have a sales team right now doing the sales for the company. But yeah, so now the profit that I get, I really want to invest a lot of that to still learning and to keep developing myself even more.
I love it. And also, as you were talking, I remember your motto is a phrase that I love, is work smart, not hard.
Yeah. That's true.
Smart and not hard.
Yeah. And that's why our business is called Smart Mentoring, because we really want to find like smart ways. And currently what we are doing is also looking for ways to use AI to get our clients to work even faster towards like creating their marketing messages and stuff like that, because you can really, like, we are using AI at the moment really like a lot in all the like headlines for YouTube and like stuff like that. So
nice. What would you say is your biggest success?
Well, I always remember when I graduated from my University of Applied Sciences in Helsinki, like the day that I graduated. It's so funny that I feel that is the biggest one, but really it was because I really had been good student in school, and I had really, like, it felt like that's the moment when I felt free from everything, like the school. Now I can focus on my career. So I think that, but other than that, I would say that maybe just the impact that I already know that I've been able to create, and not just to our clients, who there's been already like thousands if we count also all the like cheaper online course clients that I've had in the past, but also like my social media. I've been able to like impact like over 10,000 people on my Instagram, for example. For years, people have been following me there. Like I've been on Instagram since 2012, so already over 10 years. And I really like, I think it's so amazing to hear these stories that, for example, one woman said that her dad had died, and now she really got more like motivation for her to continue her life by listening to my podcast that I had, like stuff like that. It's really good to hear that, how something that I feel sometimes really anxious to post and to do what I do, that it's actually inspiring and motivating others.
Yeah, well, I can agree. I started following you on Instagram, on YouTube, and your newsletter, and I find your content very inspiring.
That's so good to hear. And now we have a team helping me to do that, so it's like we are even trying to make it and create it even better. So it's really glad to hear that.
Nice. How do you react when you make a mistake?
If I do a mistake, I try to then just like think about already ways to like solve the problem. So I am my biggest critic, for real. Like I am really critical for myself, but now I think that it's more beneficial to just start thinking already like, how can I make this right and just solve the problem or whatever it is. So I think that I just try to keep going. And also like definitely like one of our coaches that is not actually working with us anymore, but she really said, because we had some struggles like like we had this social media hater, like the first hater that I ever got last year. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What does it look like? A social media?
Yeah, well, it looks like somebody who is writing bad things about you online. Yeah, and like telling straight lies. And it's good that now I have the team supporting me. But now that the business is still really concentrated on my personal brand, it really feels like a personal attack. It was really terrible. But my coach said, like the coach who was working in the company at that time said to me that somebody that she looked up to had like these so big so many haters that they have been written like things on media, even like not even just like on Facebook group, but actually on like like magazines writing bad stuff about this big coach and in Germany, I think. And she said that, but they just kept going. Like they didn't like do anything about it, but just like kept going because they knew why they were doing it. So I think that every time that there's something contrarian and like you're doing something new in the industry, like I understand why people were upset in Finland, where I'm from. Like I really got there like with the bold messaging and that type of thing, and said as a young person that okay, you've done that wrong. Like this is how you should be doing it. So of course there's going to be people who don't really like that type of like contrarian thinking. So there's going to be critics all the time. And but also what I found is funny that like right away that I started seeing success in the business, I started seeing those haters. So it's just like part of the game. Like you need to accept that, because when I didn't have any haters, like then nobody was talking anything about it. So it's just what you need to accept and continue going. Because also my own idols in business, for example, Rachel Rogers, who has been reading the book We Should All Be Millionaires, she said that that there's blog posts being written about her, like how bad of a lawyer she has been and everything like that. And of course, I don't agree with those things that these haters are saying about her. So but I see that as an example that, okay, that there's haters with everyone in like doing public work. So, yeah.
And also when you start doing your own business, you quickly realize it's a bit sad, but like bad publicity is still publicity, so it's better that people keep on talking about it, right?
Yes, that's true. And also when you reach a point where you're helping, for example, like hundreds of clients, like there's going to be some who are not happy. That's just like, it would be even weird if like, because I worked so hard, like it's actually pretty funny because I was so obsessed with like keeping everyone happy, but when I couldn't still do that, it was really hard for me because I like my intentions were always good and are still. So I think it's just hard to accept that, okay, well, still I can't please everyone.
What does your family think and say about you working this hard?
Well, my family is actually like the family that I have at home, like from my mother's side, for example, there's no entrepreneurs in the family, so they haven't really like, I don't think they still understand what I do, and they are like, what is she doing? Like that's needs to be something bad, and we don't really even talk about it. So it's been really like hard for me in a way, because I feel at some points that I didn't get the support that I needed. But in other hand, I think that my husband's side has been really more like supportive, because they are from entrepreneurial family, and my husband has been the biggest support like ever. Like he was here in the studio before we started and doing this podcast. Also, like he's been there, and he's been with our daughter and believed in me even when I didn't get any results. Like I worked in this business for 2 years without even getting salary for myself, so it was actually really financially hard for him and me, but he still believed in me. So I'm forever grateful for that, and I will support whatever he decides to do in his life too, because I'm so grateful for that. And I think that just having even somebody on your side is just so important, if that's from your family or your partner, like it doesn't matter, or your friend, but just having somebody, because it's really hard. And when, for example, there's these haters or people saying things, and it's really important that there's still your core people who know who you are, and even if everybody else don't agree with you, like still they, like these core people know that like where are you coming from, and you don't need to explain yourself to them.
Very true, very true. Thank you for sharing that inspiring story about your husband.
Yeah.
Couple goals.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have any other big project coming soon?
Yeah, well, other big projects, like in Lisbon, we are actually hosting this wealthy woman event with my entrepreneur colleague Bryony, and maybe we will share it with the community as well. I think we are. And other big projects, like now we are just concentrated on scaling the business globally. Like it's been actually harder than I expected. Like we just thought that we just change everything in English and it's going to be like piece of cake, but
no,
never that easy, because in Finland, like you know people already. It's like people have been following me for 10 years, so it's easier there. But now the thing, like getting visibility from like other countries as well. So that's what we are working on right now. And I think the big project definitely is now me taking part of this big mastermind and going to the US for the event of the mastermind, learning from the people in person. So it's really going to be exciting to see and also bring all the lessons here and teach like my community, my clients and friends as well. Like I love to share what I learn. So that's what I also try to do on my social media.
Nice. Last question. Do you have a role model?
Yes, I think I do have multiple role models. Like I would say that in online space, there are several people that I look up to. And for example, one of them is Rachel Rogers, who I mentioned. And I really want to share these female role models, especially because it's sometimes really hard when your mom, your wife, your everything, and you are a businesswoman as well. So Rachel definitely, and let me think about if there's somebody, because I think there's so many, but then now that I need to come up with them, it's harder. But like it's mostly those who you are listening to right at the moment. But
are they podcast? Host or?
Yeah, Rachel Rogers has this podcast Hello 7, and she helps minorities to build wealth and people who have been like maybe not seen as somebody who could even build wealth in their lives. So I really like her mission, what she's doing. So I definitely would say that she's now somebody who I really look up to at the moment.
Nice. Thank you very much, Marianne.
Thank you.
You have a very inspiring and driving energy. I hope we can all benefit from it.
Thank you so much.
Before we wrap up, I want to express my gratitude to everyone who made this podcast possible. First, a big thanks to Larissa Abreu for welcoming us into her podcast studio. She created this beautiful space so people could share their message. Larissa is also a digital specialist, the co-founder of a marketing agency, and she teaches how to make sales on social media. I also want to thank Sajra for filming and editing our episodes. Your artwork and dedication to this project are greatly appreciated. And of course, I want to express my profound gratitude to my co-founders at SheSapiens and my co-founder at MARIELI-DIGITAL. Collaboration and communication are at the core of everything I do. And I'm so grateful for your support and contributions to this project. When I started my own entrepreneurial journey, it was with the belief that I could always work with dream projects. And together, we've turned this dream into a reality. That brings me so much joy. Let's continue to empower and inspire one another. And of course, let's have fun doing it. Thank you all for being a part of this journey with me.